Hi. So, have you ever felt stuck in your career or just your life in general? I know that I have. And I am going to talk to you today about how you can make a big change even when you're not really sure what change you need to make or what you want your life to look like. So, when I started college, I knew that I wanted to study in the College of Communications. I just wasn't sure what area I wanted to study in. So, I probably majored in pretty much every department that you could in that college at the time, and I ended up landing on journalism in with an emphasis in public relations. So I did that and landed a job right out of school, my first real job, and unfortunately though I was pretty unhappy and I left after about a year. I didn't have anything else lined up, because that's like typical, like early 20s. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I just knew that I wasn't happy or fulfilled in this path that I had chosen for myself early on. And so I was, out of a job and didn't really know which way to go. And so I had to make decisions about what I was going to do next. And I really had no idea what that was. So I was stuck. Thankfully, I feel like I've kind of moved forward in life from that point and haven't necessarily hit another point that I've been stuck quite like that. But I do feel like there are different seasons to everybody's life, and that even though you might not feel stuck now or maybe not have been stuck before, there's a chance that you could, be stuck in the future. And it can be not necessarily even your career. It could be your family life. It could be your personal life. I mean, I know plenty of people that like their careers, but they don't really have much of like a hobby or like things that they enjoy doing outside of work. So I think that what I'm going to talk about today is applicable to all aspects of your life. So I came across this really great article, as I mentioned, that talks about the strategy to help us all find our way when we're feeling stuck. And it was developed by a life coach, and her name is Stacy Kim, and she calls this method the Lighthouse Method. And basically, I'm sure like all of us feel like we have to have this plan in place before we can do anything. It's like kind of like my idea with college. Like I had my plan, I was going to do X, Y, Z and have my job and life was going to be great. And, but when, we know that we need to get to the end of the road, but we don't know what XYZ needs to look like, that can be really challenging. So what Stacey suggests is that we need to think about our end of the road as a lighthouse. A lighthouse that is far away, to be more specific. And you don't have to know what this lighthouse looks like or where it's located exactly, but the idea is that you see this dim light off far in the distance. And that's essentially you're getting off the land and you're getting in this boat and you're slowly rowing towards this light, this far off light that you see in the distance, which is your unstuck point, basically, the thing that you're working towards. So the best way is to, when you get in, obviously you have to get in your boat, you have to pick a direction. And Stacy advises that the best way to do that is to start rowing towards something that you enjoy. So whether it's, something that you used to do that you really enjoyed doing, or it could even be something as simple as like you enjoy reading or you enjoy writing or technology. I mean, it can be something very basic, but something that brings you joy, or something that you enjoy doing. I mean, it's as simple as moving towards that direction. So for me, I decided that I was thinking about the things that had always brought me joy. And one of the things that I always liked and gravitated towards was the fashion industry. And so that is where I was like, okay, well, I'm going to kind of go down this rabbit hole and see, what kind of possibilities are within this realm that I could see myself doing or that I think I would enjoy doing. So that's kind of how I got in my boat and started moving forward, essentially. So as you're rowing along, though, you're probably going to hit obstacles because it's life, and we have hit obstacles all around us all the time. And these types of obstacles that we're talking about is negativity, doubt, fear, all those things that we say to ourselves that are self-sabotaging to our happiness. So those are the types of obstacles that can get in our way as we're trying to move forward. And two, when you're rowing in the dark, like trying to go towards this little light, I mean, it can be scary because you just see this little light in the distance and it's dark and you just don't really know, it's not clear. And so that part can be very scary, I think, for a lot of people. So for me, once I decided, okay, yes, I'm going to go to the fashion industry, I had to move away from home. I moved to Los Angeles, so a big city. I knew nobody there. And I was basically starting all over again. So that was really scary. And of course I had self-doubts about, well, am I going to be able to make it in this industry? Like, do I have what it takes? Are people going to accept me? Like, is this going to be okay? So I think that's all normal things. We just have to figure out how to clear the clutter in our minds so that we can move forward and keep going towards our light. Because if you think about it, if we are consistent in our rowing, as using that as a metaphor, if we're consistent and we're just doing tiny, like little rows versus just stopping, think about how much more momentum you have in what you're working towards when you're just rowing even just a little tiny bit versus stopping altogether, right? So we have to stay optimistic and know that we're going to succeed in whatever it is that we're working towards. So this idea of, well, figuring out what am I going to do with my life? What makes me happy? Like those things are what I like to call the elephant. And how do we eat an elephant? One piece at a time, right? So it's easy to take like these big, broad questions and just be like, I don't know. And you get so frustrated and then you stop. But by basically taking and enjoying the little steps along your path in your little rows in the dark as you're getting closer and closer to your lighthouse, I mean, that's all part of your journey as well. And we have to find joy in the journey as much as we find joy in the destination. So for me, once I got to Los Angeles, I made friends. I was active in the industry, got internships, and I was able to, basically put the negativity away because I was starting to kind of find my place and know that, okay, well, all this is going to work out. So, I think that other people, we can do that same thing regardless of what it is that we're working towards. So Stacy ended her article with this comment, which I really loved. And she said that though these steps all might seem counterintuitive of moving towards your lighthouse, if you don't really know what you want, then you've got to lose the map, enjoy the scenery, adjust your sails, let go of anchors, and gently row. And you will find that your lighthouse is probably much closer than you really thought. So I hope that this information has been helpful for you. If you're feeling stuck, or if you know somebody that's feeling stuck, feel free to share this with them. I know that this idea really resonated with me. If you want to know more about the Lighthouse Method, Stacy Kim has a book on Amazon that you can go and buy and read more about this. And she also has a website called lifejunctions.com. So, and just so you know, I'm not affiliated with her at all. I just came across her article. I thought it was awesome and wanted to share this information with you in case you had not read it and wanted to know more about it. So I hope that's been helpful, and I look forward to talking to you later. Thank you.